Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. A lot of stuff going on today. It's like the full-blown start of the college football season, so I'm excited for that. My Iowa Hawkeyes are hosting the Indiana Hoosiers this afternoon. But today is, did I say welcome back to Tim Travels? If I didn't, welcome back to Tim Travels. I'm your host, Terry. I'm still here at Prime in Springfield. I'll get to that in a second, but today is the 40th anniversary of one of the most important dates in history, and that is the day that Beyonce, the Queen Bee, was born. Today is her birthday, so happy Beyonce Day. Okay, so now that we got happy Beyonce birthday day out of the way. And by the way, you know, Beyonce's huge, everybody knows that. But, you know, she was the lead singer of Destiny's Child, which, by the way, and I know you know that too, but Destiny's Child is one of the best-selling, you know, girl groups, female groups ever. So it's not like she wasn't a huge thing before, you know, kind of striking out on her own. But anyway, so that's that. So what am I doing here in Springfield? Why am I not out training somebody? So the answer is kind of simple, but I want to tell this story, and this is why I'm disappointed in some people at Prime. So I had kind of put the training staff and the people that give assignments on notice that I would not accept a trainee on my truck that wasn't fully vaccinated for coronavirus. And I could tell you, I mean, I don't know that a lot of people will be as vocal about it as I am, but I could tell you for a fact that several of my fellow instructors feel the same way. And one instructor in the class was waiting to get his second vaccine and before he picks up a trainee. So that's, you know, it's important to a lot of people. And notwithstanding that, the fact that I made it known that that was going to be a condition for me to put somebody on my truck, you know, that should have been, you know, pretty easy to do. But what ended up happening is I came back I did my safety class, and I came back over to the pad, and I got an assignment, and they were finishing up some class, so I went and, I don't know, did a couple things, took a nap, and reserved some pad time, you know, like several different sessions for the pad for this weekend. And I go back in and I meet up with my assigned trainee, and I sat down with him, and he's a nice young man, and from Maryland, and I sat down with him, and I just asked him, I said, hey, are you know, vaccinated for coronavirus? And he didn't really answer me directly, but then we kind of got to the bottom of it, and no, he's not vaccinated. And, you know, all they maybe did some tests, you know, the nose swab. And so I went back to the desk, to the guy that was making the assignments. I'm like, hey, I can't accept this trainee. He's not vaccinated for coronavirus. And this is the same person I said this to earlier in the week. And and his response was, well, you know, he's been quarantined and tested. And I'm like, dude, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's not a vaccine, right? You could be tested, you know, 10 minutes ago and be negative and have already contracted it. And we know because we've been at this for, you know, what now, 18 months or whatever, that you know, you can test negative and still have the coronavirus because it hasn't manifested itself enough in your in your system to show up. So, and I've kind of outlined what it was that, you know, the reasons for all of this. And so several of my classmates were like, you know, they were kind of, you know, surprised that that happened. And I think the thing that bothers me most about this is not that I don't have a trainee, because I actually have a load that I'm, you know, it's what time is it? It's almost noon. It's like 11:40 here. I got a load I'm picking up here in a few hours in Springfield. It's running up to Wisconsin. You know, I deliver it tomorrow. It's, you know, it's paying more than $2 a mile. So, you know, I'm getting something done. I'm being constructive. But what bothers me the most about this whole thing is not that I didn't get a trainee. It's that, well, two things. One is that my wishes were ignored, because, you know, anybody that trains at Prime is a volunteer, you know. So my wishes were ignored, and I don't think it's unreasonable. But the second thing is, and this is what bothers me the most, is that I had to sit down with a guy who's trying to change his life, and I can tell you that I'm an okay judge of people, and I guarantee this guy was not coming from, you know, some successful career as a CPA or a computer developer or a mortgage banker or an attorney or something, right? This is a guy that was just schlepping along, working at fast food, working at whatever, you know, in Maryland, and this is his chance to really up his game. And I had to sit down with him and tell him that he couldn't be on my truck. Now, I shouldn't have had to do that, and he shouldn't have had to hear that from me, right? He shouldn't have had to hear that he has a trainer assigned, but that trainer doesn't want him. That was not cool. And you know, look, I was in the military. I've run my own business. I've fired people. I've counseled people. I've done all that stuff, right? You know, I can deliver bad news, but I really felt like it shouldn't have fallen to me. They should have screened whoever they were going to assign to me. Just check with the guy. And, you know, the one guy's like, well, we can't ask him that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Okay? You ask them all sorts of other stuff. You ask them if they're a smoker, right? I think smoking is a medical thing. I mean, it's a habit too. But we ask trainees, we ask applicants all sorts of questions. What kind of driver are you? Have you ever been fired from a job? Are you a violent offender? You know, we do all sorts of stuff, right? And I'm running a business. I don't want to take this guy out on the road and expose him because of the requirements of my job to go to places where people think, you know, horse dewormer is a better option than just a regular old vaccine for humans. I just don't want that. You know, I don't want to put him in that position. I don't want the responsibility of having to deal with him if he gets sick. So I'm just really disappointed that it's turned out this way. Now, I'm going to come back here to Springfield next week. I'm going to get this load up to Wisconsin and turn around and head back south and get back here. And I'm going to get a student. It might end up being a TNT student, which is fine. But I'm going to get somebody and, you know, train and do that. And if that's not going to work out, then it's not going to work out. I still got a job, right? I still got stuff to do. So there's that. Now, on a positive note, my overall experience here this week has been wonderful. I've met a lot of cool people and had a lot of great conversations and learned a lot about people, you know, that have come into this industry and are in different phases of their career. So it's been really cool. I've met some cool dogs, people's dogs. You know, that's been fun. You know, and it's been a really good experience here in Springfield. Getting to talk to everybody, and a few people giving me, you know, saying, hey, I watched your channel or whatever, so that's really cool. Got some more subscribers, so that's great. So I'm not negative at all about the company or about training at Prime or anything like that. Like I said, I met a lot of great people. It just, if anything, I like the company more than I did when I came here, you know, on Monday morning, you know, and dropped the load that I had. So I'm very pleased with the overall experience. I think it's not been a waste of time. I learned some good stuff. You know, it's always great learning from other experienced drivers, and we don't get that opportunity a lot. So being in the company of a lot of people that have some, you know, they have experience driving a truck and driving for Prime, and some of these guys have like a decade plus of experience. You know, like one guy that I had lots of conversations with, he has over 14 years at Prime. So that's invaluable training, if you will. So anyway, it's been a positive experience. I'm gonna head up towards Wisconsin. This is actually a dry van load that's going out of Bass Pro Shops up to Wisconsin, but it's yeah, so it's gonna be a meaningful Labor Day weekend, and you know, I was glad to get a load because it is a holiday weekend and a lot of loads are already spoken for. But yeah, so just wanted to update you. I'm gonna get a trainee on this truck and kind of give back. I actually love training. You know, I trained in the military a lot, and I used to help people that were going through classes for the bar exam and stuff. I used to grade, you know, practice essays and give them feedback. So I know I can do it. I just got to get the right situation. Anyway, have a good weekend. Have a good Labor Day weekend. Be safe. A lot of people on the roads. Yeah, we'll get back to it on Tuesday. Will be somewhat back to normal, although, you know, I don't even know what normal is anymore, I think. But yeah, it'll be the push to the end of the year. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments, your likes. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.